analytics. So today I'm going to do a recap of what we did yesterday for the sake of those that were not in class or in the session. Then we're going to proceed to the next, or to what we're supposed to cover today. So yesterday we introduced data analytics, and our minutes. And our focus was on introducing data analytics and understanding what data analytics is, why it matters. We also went through the different stages of data analytics. And if you can remember, we said data analytics is basically the process of converting raw data or raw information. Data is raw information to insights that can be used for decision making. And we said the end goal of data analytics is getting some insights from your data that has not been processed yet. Yeah. Then we proceeded to looking at the data analytics workflow, how we go about the data analytics. Since we said it's a procedure, how do we go about it? So we talked about defining your objectives. This is where you are able to understand the problem that you're solving. After you understand the problem, you go to data collection. Yeah. Under data collection, you could be having data that is already there, or if you're trying to do maybe a research or something, then you're now able to know the kind of data that you will need. So under data collection, that is where we looked at the different types of data sources. We have the spreadsheets, that is Excel files, the CSV files, and so on and so forth. So that is under data collection. So we've collected our data. After that, we need to clean our data or prepare our data for analysis. How do we go about data cleaning? So we have different ways of cleaning your data. First of all, you need to look at, you need to check whether you have missing values. If you have missing values, how do you handle those missing values? You can replace them, you can do away with them, and we have different ways of replacing, if you can recall. There are those that prefer, depending on the kind of analysis that you're doing, and again, depending on the company policy or an organization that you're working for, how do they deal with missing values? Yeah, there are those that you can replace with a certain value, a specific value. Yeah, there are those that it's advised if you're dealing with numerical type of data and you have some missing values, it is advised that you use median. And why are you supposed to, why is median the most preferred way of replacing missing values? Maybe someone can type in, or why do we prefer median over mean when it comes to replacing missing values? Do we have someone who can remember what we said?
Hello.
Yes.
I can try.
Yes, please.
We use median because to avoid outliers.
Okay, yes, thank you so much. So median is used because it's not affected by outliers. And outliers, it's common to encounter outliers in your data. So the safest way of replacing missing values, especially if you're dealing with numerical type of data, then it's replacing using median. Yeah. Then we have, you can remove, of course, you have to check whether your data has, what is it called? Duplicates. Duplicates are repeated entries. Yeah. So those entries are similar. Okay, let us use repeated entries. So you have to make sure that you have unique entries in your data. Yeah, I hope that is clear. How do you remove that? We checked the different ways of, or how do you handle duplicates? Duplicates can only be removed, but you cannot replace them. I hope that is clear. Unlike the missing values, for duplicates, you have to remove them. Yeah. Then there are quite a number of things that you can handle under data preparation or data pre-processing. And the essence of cleaning your data or preparing your data is to make sure that the data that you have is reliable, having in mind that you want to have, or rather you want to attain accurate results. That is why you need to clean your data. And it's going to make your work easier when it comes to analysis. You're not going to encounter errors as you continue. So you've cleaned your data. The next step is to do your analysis. Now you're the one, remember we said you have to define your objectives, or you have to understand your problem. So based on your problem, that is where you're going to choose the different analysis technique that you're going to use. After that, from your analysis, you'll be able to draw conclusions or insights that are going to help you interpret your results. Maybe something to mention under analysis, we have different types of analytics, and we looked at them. I hope you can recall the different types of analytics. We talked about descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive. I hope you can recall what that entails. Then the next step, we looked at the different data types in when it comes to data analytics. And we had the major categories, the categorical and numerical.
Hello?
Yeah, categorical. Under
Hello?
categorical, we have two types. We have, under categorical, we have nominal. This one does not follow any order. Then we have ordinal, which follows a certain order. Yeah, and examples of ordinal type of data is something like education level. So you come from primary to secondary to university. So there are levels. Yeah, so there is a particular order that you're following. But then remember, the difference between the levels or the categories is not numerical. It cannot be measured numerically. I hope that is clear. Then we went to a numerical type of data, and we have two types. We have continuous. Continuous, it has decimal places, and we have, or rather it has decimals or fractions. Then we have discrete type of data. This one is countable numbers or whole numbers. Yeah, I hope you can recall that. Then we went ahead and looked at time series. Time series data is the data that is time bound. Yeah, it's data that is collected over time, and you want to observe changes over that period of time. So in this particular type of data, time is very key. Yeah, and we gave an example of daily sales, maybe something like meteorological data. That is usually time series. I mean, it's the time series data. It is collected over a period of time. Then we have structured data. It's organized in a certain order, rows and columns. And then we have the unstructured data, something like, data that is not organized in rows and columns. So something like emails, photos and videos. And this type of data is used in, or when you want to use this type of data, there are tools that are specifically used for such type of data, such as Python, NLP tools, or the AI tools, or a specialized software. Then after that, we covered the different, data sources. Where are we getting our data from? We have spreadsheets, we have databases, we have applications, we have survey forms, and even websites. Yeah, there are quite a number. Then we have the different types of tools that are used in data analytics. We have Excel for basic data manipulation. We also have Power BI. This one is usually used in business intelligence, where you're able to design interactive dashboards. And you're also able to get real-time insights. We also have SQL, the structured query language. So this one is used to access, if you want to access data that is in a database, or retrieve that data, or manage that data. Managing means you want to maybe filter your data, sort your data. You have different tables. How do you join them? You usually use the structured query language, popularly known as SQL or SQL. Then we have Python. Python is a programming language that is used for data analysis, mostly used for advanced data analysis. So we talked about data science and artificial intelligence, where you're now not looking at the end goal being getting your results, but you go further to automate models or to automate systems. That is where we use or apply Python. Then we also have R, and we said R is more focused on statistical computing and data visualization. So this one is a little bit inclined to statistics. It can be used for the same function as as Python. It has libraries that are used, but then this one is a bit inclined to statistics. Then we talked about the tool journey. We are coming from Excel, which is the simplest or the most basic, to Power BI, which transforms our data into visualizations or interactive dashboards. Then we proceed to SQL. SQL, you want to manage your data that is stored in the database. Then for Python or R, this is where you advance your analysis. You now want to go ahead and automate the processes. You now want to get the predictive analytics and so on and so forth. Those are the tools that are used in data analytics. And we said data analytics can be applied in various institutions, in finance. If you want to predict maybe something to do with fraud, credit fraud, you want to predict patient outcomes in healthcare, in education systems, you want to predict the performance of your students and so on and so forth. So data analytics is quite, it's quite a vast, it's quite vast when it comes to its applications, yeah? Then we went ahead and started off with under tools used for data analytics. We started with Excel for data analytics. And Excel is one of the simplest. And it doesn't have a lot of, most of the functions in Excel are usually built in. So you just need to understand how you go about just to understand the Excel itself, yeah? This one is a free, it's a free what? I'd say you don't pay for it, of course. And under under Excel, we went ahead and covered how to prepare data for analysis. Remember, in analysis, before you even proceed to something else, before you proceed to analysis, you have to prepare your data for analysis. And in Excel, we covered, first of all, you need to identify missing values. And after you've identified the missing values, what do? You correct them. That is the first thing. Number two, you remove duplicates. How do you remove the duplicates? You select the entire data set. I hope you can recall the entire data. Then under data on the ribbon, on the Excel ribbon, we have the remove duplicate bit. You select that, then it's going to check through your data and it's going to show you the number of duplicates that you have in your data. Then it's going to go ahead and remove those duplicates, yeah? Then how do we standardize? There's also standardizing formats. This is where you want to make sure that your data is in the right format. The dates, are they in the right format? Is your column, in case your column is numerical, is it just general numerics? Is it accounting and so on and so forth? Then in case you have inconsistent entries, maybe you can fix the inconsistent entries. We have different ways of doing that. In case you're dealing with text type of data, for text type of data, you want to make sure that the spacing is in the right, you have the right spacing. So if the spacing is too huge, you usually use the trim function. If you want to make sure the names are in the, the right format, in case they are needed to be in capital letters, you use the uppercase. We also have the lowercase. And if you want them to be in the right format, where you have the first letter as a capital letter and the rest are in lowercase, then you use the proper case. That is how we fix inconsistencies. We said the main idea behind preparing your data for analysis or cleaning your data is to make sure that you have clean, reliable data that is going to eventually give you accurate results. Okay, and it's going to make your analysis a little easier. After that, I think we covered quite a number of things. We also went to descriptive analytics in Excel. This is where we looked at the different Excel functions. Under descriptive analytics, you just want to understand your data. And this is where we covered summary statistics in Excel. So we had summation functions where we use the sum to add numbers, average to calculate the mean, count to count the numeric values. How many do we have? We also looked at the if statement. This one is used to create simple logical conditions. And after that is just, but the summary statistics, they are quite a number, but these are the basics. We went ahead and looked at the different visualizations that we have in Excel. And how do we do that? You select your data, then insert the chart that you want to generate. But we didn't do that because our exercise was a bit complicated. So we're going to do it in our today's class. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to look at the different charts that we have, or the different visualizations that we have. And maybe one thing that I need to remind you, this is the most important thing that you're supposed to have at the back of your mind. When you're choosing your chart or your visualization, what are you supposed to consider? One, you're supposed to consider, what are you showing? What do you want to, what information do you want to visualize? Or rather, what is the goal of visualizing your data? If it's comparison type of data, then you can go ahead and do it and have a bar chart or a column chart. If it's a trend, you use a line chart. If it's portion, then you can use a pie chart. Then the next thing is, how many categories do you have? Yeah, so if you have very many categories, then you go with a bar chart. If you have few categories, you can work with a column chart or a pie chart. The other bit is you have to make sure that your chart is easy to understand. So what do? Ensure that you keep it simple and make sure that the labels are clear. Yeah, I hope that is clear. Then the other thing is, of course, we said for you to be able to get accurate results, including the visualization that you're generating, make sure that your data is clean. Yeah, make sure you have removed all the errors and all the duplicates. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. And we had a practical exercise that we were supposed to do. I think we did the sum, the average, and the count, and also the if statement. So the remaining bit was on the column chart, or rather the visualizations. And I think we're going to look at that as we continue. So that is what we covered yesterday. For the sake of those that weren't in class yesterday, or they didn't manage to join us. The materials were shared, the data was shared, so at least you now have a rough idea of what we covered yesterday. So welcome to our today's session. And our today's session is a continuation of what we covered yesterday. So by the end of this session, you are supposed to be able to use intermediate Excel functions. So we are going to now advance from the basic functions to, to advanced functions such as XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. Those ones are usually used when you need to, maybe you're looking for a certain entry in your data. How do you go about that? Yeah, depending on where it's been located, or from which columns or from which rows are you searching? Yeah. Then we have the if and if statements. We have the sum ifs. We have the index or match, the index match function. We also have data validation, conditional formatting. We're going to look at that. Then we're going to now go to pivot tables and pivot charts. As we continue, you're going to realize pivot tables usually give us or rather, when you want to do analysis in Excel, pivot tables usually provide most of the functions that are needed for analysis. And it's on the same platform that you're able to create charts, yeah, pivot charts. It's not that you cannot create them elsewhere in Excel, but if you're doing it for analysis and if your focus is to maybe come up with a dashboard, then you can do it using pivot tables. Then after that, we're going to cover Python for analytics and also SQL for analytics. So that is what we are supposed to cover today. So allow me to proceed and start our session today. So under advanced Excel functions, we have XLOOKUP. And XLOOKUP is a modern lookup function. So we have lookup function here, and it's a modern one, which replaces the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP with a more flexible, easier to use format. I'm sure you've come across this. If you did, the computer packages that we were doing back then, we covered this under Excel, the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, it's a function that is used to retrieve values from another table or column based on a matching key, okay? So you want to retrieve values. You're looking for a certain value from another table based on a matching key. What does that mean? So we have table 1 and table 2, and both tables have to have something that is in common. That is the matching key, yeah? So, so for example, for XLOOKUP, you're trying to look up a value that is in another table. It could be either in a row or in a column, okay? So the syntax for that, I'm going to explain this. I'm sure for VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP will sound a little bit easier. So allow me just to tackle the syntax bit of XLOOKUP, then we proceed to VLOOKUP. It's going to be easier. But the main point here is, so you have two data sets, and the two data sets, or maybe you have two tables, and in these two tables, we have a matching key. We have a common column, say a column for products. So in table 1, we have products and the unit prices. Then in table 2, we have like the table that we had yesterday, okay? So allow me to open that table, just a minute. For easy for you to be able to understand what I'm saying. So for example, we have this worksheet 1, and maybe we have another worksheet. And this worksheet, I'm just going to give an example. It has products and maybe something like quantity. Yeah. So we have laptop. We say 27 of them. Then we have Then we have something like, let me see, what other product we have here? Smartwatch, earphones, smartwatch, earphones. 89 of them, 78. So what happens with the lookup values or the lookup functions? We are trying to maybe get the price of the laptop, of a certain laptop of a certain product. For our case here, we want to look at the, we want to get the, say the what, the total amount, yeah, the total amount of a laptop. So, but then we have two tables, yeah? So we are trying to look up another value or another aspect of our value here, of which the lookup value in this case is the product. Okay, now we go back here. I know you're going to understand as we continue. So the purpose of a lookup function is to retrieve values from another table or column based on a matching key. So what does this mean? A matching key means it's a column that is common in both. It's a primary key that is common in both tables. Okay, so we have two tables, or I mean, for the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, for those cases, we were using when we had two tables or two sets of data, and you want to get another function that is found in table 2, but it's not found in table 1. But now, what is the connecting aspect of the two tables? The matching key. So in our case here, the matching key is the product column because it appears in both sheet 2 and in sheet 1. I hope that is clear. Yeah. So the syntax for this is XLOOKUP equal to XLOOKUP. So what is the lookup value? Then where are we getting that lookup value from? And where are we supposed to return it? Okay, so the lookup value is the value that you want to search for. Then the lookup array is the column or the table where Excel should look for the lookup value. It contains all the possible values that you're trying to match. Okay, then the return array is the column or the range where Excel should pull the answer from. It has the results related to the lookup array. So we're going to do an example today, yeah? But then I hope this is well understood because this is the most, this is what you're supposed to understand, this particular function. So we have the lookup value, what we are looking for, the value you want to search for, where are we supposed to search for that particular value? That is the lookup array. It could be a table or it could be a column, okay? Then the return array is where Excel should pull the answer from. Now, I know those are quite a lot to understand, but then I just want you to follow through. I'm going to try and give you an example that you're going to understand. So that is XLOOKUP. Now, XLOOKUP, as we said, it has come to replace VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. So there, if you haven't updated your Microsoft yet, then you're going to realize you do not have the XLOOKUP. For example, in my case, I do not have the XLOOKUP function. So if I were to do something here, like equals to XLOOKUP, it's not there, okay, because it hasn't been updated yet, because it's a new function. But VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, they've been there. So what is VLOOKUP? VLOOKUP searches for a value down the first column of a table and returns a matching result from another column. So this is to mean VLOOKUP deals with what? It deals with columns. So the purpose is to look up a value in a table vertically. That is why we have V for vertical lookup. We, in this data set of ours, this is vertical. Yes.
There's some people who have not muted, and there's a lot of background noise. If admin can help mute them, please.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. So, as I was saying, when you look at this data set, vertical lookup is when you're dealing with columns, okay? So you want to search through the columns. That is why we have the V for vertical lookup, for VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, the V there represents vertical search, okay? So the syntax for VLOOKUP is, what is the lookup value? So it's equal to VLOOKUP. We have the lookup value. Then we have the table array. So the lookup value is the value that you want to find. Then the table array is the table that contains both the lookup value and the return column. Okay. Kindly mute if you're not muted to avoid a lot of distractions. Thank you. Then we have the column index. This is the column number to return the answer from. Then false. The false part is the exact match. That is to mean, let me show you. So we have equal to a VLOOKUP. So we have the lookup value. What are we looking for? So in this case, are you just, for example, if you are looking for laptop, yeah? So you're just going to select that. It's A2. Kindly mute if you're not muted. So as I was saying, so the lookup value, if we are looking for a laptop, yeah. So you just select as it is. So it is laptop. So that is A2. Then the table array.
Yeah, hi Wangari, I've muted everyone, so please unmute.
Okay.
There's a particular HMD Global who is very. Could you please, HMD Global, could you please mute your mic unless you're requested to speak kindly?
Okay, thank you, Levix. So as I was saying, so the VLOOKUP, so we have the lookup value. What are you looking for? The table array. Where are you getting your data from? Yeah. So if you're getting, or rather, where are you searching your data from? If you're searching it from this table here, then you need to give. Then you're supposed to give those details. So that is to mean we're getting our data, or our table array is A to N, or rather it's it's this table by the name sheet 1. Okay, then we come here. So we have that. Then the column index. So we said the column index is the column number to return the answer from. Okay, so you have to count from the left. Which column? Is it column number 1? Is it column number 2? Is it column number 3? Is it column number 4? Where are you returning it? So assuming we give it 1, then the remaining bit is there is the aspect of, is it true or is it false? So true to mean approximate match. So there's something that I've mentioned here when we were talking about XLOOKUP. So we have the lookup array. This one is the column where Excel should look for the lookup value. And it contains all the possible values, okay? All the possible values. And that is why when you come here, we have an option of, is it, so under the, after what? After the column index number, is it true for the approximate match, or is it false to mean that you want the exact match? I hope that is clear. Is it true? If you, or rather, if you decided to go with true, it's going to give you an approximate match. But if you decided to put a false, it's going to give you the exact match of what you're looking for. So the most advisable, because we want the exact, we want to get the exact match of what we are looking for, you select false. Then close that. I'm not sure whether this is going to work, but we can have something like that. Okay, so that is to mean what we have here, this is what has happened. So we were looking for what? A laptop, but then the main aim here is to get the, this, okay, sorry about that. Sorry about this confusion, but I just wanted it to give us a result. So I'm going to give you an answer that is, I'm going to give you an example that is going to make sense, but I want you to understand these details here. The details again are, the A2 is what you're looking for. Okay, so you just select, it's a laptop, right? That is what you want to get. But where are we getting these details from? We are getting the details from, or rather, where are we looking for the information from? We are looking for the information from this other table. So that is why we had this range here, the table array. Yeah, sorry. So, so the lookup value, what are we looking for? Where are we getting it from? Now the column index number, that is to mean you want to check, for example, if you wanted to get the quantity of that particular, if we want to get the quantity, then that is to mean we are supposed to give the column index number from the left. So that is to mean we were supposed to put a 2, okay? I know this is a little bit confusing, but we're going to make sure that we've understood. So first of all, I'm going to repeat. So equal to VLOOKUP, sorry, VLOOKUP, you double click on that. So this is our lookup value, and on which table? So we select this table, okay, comma, say the column index number. So we want to get the quantity, say column number 2. I'm just giving an example. Then we want to get the exact match. Let's see what we're going to get. So it has given us that. Okay, so if you are looking for the quantity of a smartwatch from this particular table, yeah, so it's going to give us the exact match of that quantity. It might not make sense at the moment because of the data that we have here, but that is how you go about VLOOKUP. So you realize we have used columns. I hope you can get that. We have used columns and not rows. So let us go to HLOOKUP. So HLOOKUP searches for a value across the first row of a table. So that is the difference. HLOOKUP is for rows of a table and returns a value from a row beneath it. So the purpose of HLOOKUP is to look up a value horizontally when your table is arranged in rows. So we're going to follow the same thing. So the same procedure, HLOOKUP into what are you looking for, the value you want to search for, then from where are you searching it from? So the table that you're searching it from, then the row index, what row number, okay? Then, of course, for the false, if you choose false, you're going to get the exact match of that, whatever you're looking for. That is the difference. But now for X lookup, it covers both. You really do not have to, it doesn't have to be specific that you're looking for a row or a column. It can be used for either, okay? So we proceed. That is, if you're looking for a certain entry in your data, you use the lookup functions, which is either X lookup, V lookup, or horizontal lookup, which is H lookup. Now, we proceed to if and if statements. So yesterday we covered if, and we said that one is used for, a simple logical condition. Now, if is a single condition, it is used to test a condition and return different results depending on whether it is true or false. So the syntax is if, so you have to put the condition in there. What is the condition? Then the first value is going to be returned if it is true. And if it doesn't satisfy the condition, we go to the second value, which is if it is false. Okay, so this is it. You're supposed to understand it this way. We have the condition. If the condition is met, then you're going to it's going to return the first value. If the condition is not met, it's going to return the second value. I hope that is clear. Then for ifs, this is to mean, this is usually used for multiple conditions, and it allows you to test multiple conditions without nesting several if statements. So this one, so we have ifs. Remember, you have to use an S. It's if with an S because it's for multiple condition. So we have ifs condition 1, then it should return value 1. And we have condition 2, it should return value 2. Okay, so those are the conditions. That is how you arrange that is how you arrange the syntax. Now, this one can be used when you want to do what? To have a number of levels. Yeah. So I think we did the if yesterday, but it was for maybe 2 levels. If it satisfies greater than 50,000, it's going to be a high. If it doesn't satisfy, it's going to be a low. Yeah. And someone asked this question yesterday, if I can recall. Or rather, I saw that question. Someone asking, can we have something like high, medium, and low, something of a sort, yeah? So in that case, we usually use the ifs conditional function, yeah? So we have this example here. The example that we have here, if B2 is greater than or equal to 80, it should be excellent. If B2 is greater than or equal to 60, it should be good. If B2 is greater than or equal to 40, it should be average. If B2 is greater than 40, less than 40, then it should be poor. Yeah, so this one is going to help you create or develop levels in your data. Yeah, so maybe we can do that. We can have that. So for example, yes, Marie.
I have a question.
Yes, what is your question?
On the example you have given on if, the last part, is it a must you write like if B2 is less than 40? What if you just give like the value, the peke yake bila,
without the poor?
Yeah, without the B2 is less than, you have said B2 is greater than or equal to 40 average, alafu,
yes,
and then you just write poor. Will it affect or will it not?
We can try that. Let us just do it right away. Let's see whether it's going to work. So I'm just going to copy as it is, and maybe and see where we can apply this. Let me insert. I'm going to give it title levels. So equal to, say, ifs. So looks like mine is not updated yet, but if you want to put the conditions, let me copy the formula here. So we have something like this here. So if you don't put this here, so the likelihood is, and it should work actually, Maria, it should work. So if B2 satisfies this condition, it's greater than or equal to 80, it's going to give you excellent. If B2 is greater than or equal to 60, it's going to give you good. If B2 is greater than or equal to 40, it's going to give you an average. Then the remaining, you realize we've already categorized our data. So we have some thresholds here. So greater than or equal to 80, it's going to be categorized as excellent. Greater than or equal to 60, it's going to be categorized as good. Greater than or equal to 40, it's going to be categorized as 40. Then the rest, the remaining bit, which doesn't satisfy either, it's going to be automatically a poor. It's going to be categorized as a poor. Yeah. So that is it. So unfortunately, mine is not updated yet. That is why we do not have the ifs statement, but that is how it works for multiple conditions. I hope that is well understood. Now this one is used, or rather it helps, why it helps for cleaner, it's cleaner and easier to read, and also useful for scoring, grading, or categorizing your data. Why is categorizing your data important? Now, there are those instances. In Python, we have a code for that, for categorizing your data. If you want to categorize your data in different levels or to different levels, we have a code for that. But for Excel, you have to use the if statement, okay? And why do we need to categorize our data? We need to categorize our data. For example, I'm trying to see like what we did yesterday. If we did the if again. So what is the logical test here? So we have the total amount, say if it's greater than let's say 30,000, then it should be, comma, high. Then, comma, if it doesn't satisfy that, it should be low. Then close the brackets. Then you autofill that. So why do we need these levels or these categories? So for instance, when you're creating your dashboard, you want to show the proportions of how are the sales. And you know for sure, any sale that is above 30,000 is high, and any sale that is below 40,000, then that is what? Any sale that is below 30,000 is a low. Now you want to tell how are the sales generally, yeah? So you're able, maybe you can decide to visualize this using a pie chart for proportions. So you'll be able to tell in terms of percentage. So according to this pie chart, you realize most of the sales were categorized under high because they were over 30,000. We had over 30,000. And maybe this percentage of people, say 25% of our sales were categorized as low. Now with that, you'll be able to tell, maybe you can decide to categorize it in terms of region. So this particular region was able to give us most sales being a high on the high category, while this other region, most sales were under the low category. So that is why you categorize your data. Okay. Then we have sum ifs. The sum ifs usually add numbers based on more than one condition. Okay. So it is sum, but now we have the if, the if statement, but in this case, we have a number of conditions. So the syntax for this is sum ifs, the sum range. What are you adding? Which column are you looking at? What is the criteria? So we have the criteria is the condition number 1. Then we have condition number 2. So for example, if you want to get the total sales for Nairobi and the product, so what we do, the product is the shoe. So we want to get the total sales of this particular region, which is Nairobi, and the product is shoes, for shoes. Yeah, so what we do, we're going to use equal to sum ifs. We are looking at the sales because we're looking at the total sales. The first condition is, or rather the first criteria is region. Which region? Nairobi specifically. And then we go to the other condition is product. Which product? Shoes. Then it's going to give you the summations. So whatever you're going to get are the total sales of the shoes that were sold in Nairobi. Is that okay? I hope that is clear. Still, I don't know. Let me see whether it's something that we can do here. I don't know if the sum is, yes, so we can use this. Sum ifs, we'll click that. So what is the condition here? The sum range is the total sales. We can, from J1 to, from J2 to J201, that is the range, comma. So what is the criteria? The criteria is, okay, it's the region. And our region is Nairobi. And then the other criteria, okay, let me see, F2 to F201. The other criteria is the product, say, G2 to G201, and our product is, say we're dealing with tablets. So you want to get the total sales of the tablets that were sold in Nairobi, okay? So the total sales of the tablets sold in Nairobi is 226,000. Maybe we can prove that. Let's see whether we are correct. So what I do, I'm going to filter here, and I'm going to filter, the region here is Nairobi, right?
Hi, Wangari, can I cut you short for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Somebody is requesting, I don't know if the screen is filled with the the drawings. I don't know. I don't know if it's only on their side or.
Yeah.
Is it possible to clear them so that they have better visibility?
Is it on my side, really?
I don't know, but okay, just proceed. I think so. Yeah, somebody's also saying the same. But just proceed.
Okay. Because I don't know if it's coming from my side, really. So what was I? So we wanted to check whether our SAMIF was correct. So we have selected Nairobi, and the product that we are looking at is tablets, right? Guess it was tablets. So when you look at the total amount, if you were to add this, it adds up to 226,000. So that is to mean our summation was correct. I hope that is clear. That is a SAMIF. Yeah, so we have a number of conditions. Okay. All right, let me reshare.
Yeah, try to reshare. We see if it gets back clearer.
Is that okay?
Yes, it's not good. Sorry about that. Just proceed.
Okay, no worries. So we go back to so that is SAMIFs. I hope that was clear, and it is used in when you want to, for example, in our case, sales totals by region and product, summing transactions within a time period, multi-condition filtering within formulas. That is when we apply the SAMIF. Then we have index and match. Now this is a combination. This combination is it usually performs powerful, flexible lookups. So if you're not able to use the X lookup, you can use the index plus match. So the index syntax, or rather the index function, returns a value from a position in a range. Okay, for example, you want to return a certain value and it's in a certain position in a particular range. So the formula is as clear as this. So we have index into return range. Where are you getting it from and what is its position? Then the match syntax, this one finds the position of a lookup value. So we have a lookup value. What are we looking for? Yeah, what value are we looking for? Where are we getting it? Then you have to put a 0. Then it's going to give you the position itself. Okay? So the index gives you the value, while the match gives you the position of that particular value. So, so this one is usually used, first of all, it works in any direction. It's very reliable for large data sets. It is more flexible than a VLOOKUP. Yeah, so that is index plus match. So those are the lookup values that we have. So we have the lookup values. We have X lookup, we have H lookup, we have the V lookup, and we also have the index plus match. Yeah. Now we proceed. We are still under the advanced functions in Excel. Now we proceed to data validation. Don't worry, we are going to do examples as we continue. So data validation. This one is used to control the type of data entered into a cell. And this one ensures data consistency. I hope that is clear. It controls the type of data entered into a cell, and it ensures data consistency. So common uses, we have a drop-down list. where you restrict entries to whole numbers. That is to mean the only number that you can put or the type of data that you can have in that particular column is either a whole number, a date, or a specific range. So this one prevents invalid data input. So how do you go about that? So you select the cells, go to data, data validation, choose whichever type of data that you want to have in that particular column, then select the source range. Why is it useful? It's going to help you reduce errors. It's going to make sure that data is consistent, and it's going to improve your data accuracy. So it is as simple as, so you come here. So maybe I can remove the filters. I select that. Under data, we have data validation. So I'm going to select data validation. Then, so this is the validation criteria. What do you want to allow in that particular column? Any value? Is it a whole number? Is it a decimal? Is it a list? Is it a date? Is it time? Is it text length? Excuse me, is it, I mean, if you want to customize it, you can go ahead and customize it. So if you want to have, say, a whole number, so these are the conditions. This whole number should be between maybe this value and this value. Say from 0, it should be between 0 to say 10. So that is to mean that is going to help you curb issues to do with outliers in your data, something like that, not equal. So these are the conditions. How do you want it to be? Then what is the minimum value, and which should be the, the maximum value? And then you apply these changes to all other cells with the same settings. Then you select OK. So I'm going to do something here. Let's see. Let me see whether it's going to bring. So that is to mean it's going to allow only whole numbers in this particular column. Let me see. I want to see whether we can do the same for this text type of data. We have data validation, any value, maybe give it, let's try and customize this. So the formula, if it's for customizing, then you have to put in the formula, yeah? So if it's for text length, so we can have, the text should be between 0 and say, let me see, 19. Then you apply that. So that is to mean it's not going to take anything that is beyond that. Okay, that's text length. So that is for data validation. So it helps in reducing errors, improving data accuracy, and of course, data accuracy comes from by ensuring there is data consistency. Yeah, that is data validation. So then we have conditional formatting. And conditional formatting, this one highlights cells automatically based on conditions. So examples of formats could be, so how do we format the, the cells? We could use maybe color scales. We could use data bars. I'm sure people who have interacted with Excel or they usually use Excel, especially in the financial departments or the financial sector. They usually use a lot of conditional formatting, highlighting cells greater than a value, highlighting duplicates, highlighting blanks. And so practical use cases, when you want to highlight low performing cells, of course, there have to be a condition. What condition are we satisfied? Are we looking at? And if that particular entry meets that condition, then it's going to be highlighted. So if you want to identify overdue dates, and also you can use color code values by performance, you can spot duplicates visually because they are, they are highlighted. So an example, highlight cells less than 20,000. Highlight cells less than 20,000. So how do you go about that? You go to home. Of course, you're going to select that particular, that column. Go to home, conditional formatting, highlight cells. Then the condition will be less than. Maybe we can do that. So we go to home. This is the conditional formatting. So we have highlight cells, the rules or the conditions that we have there. So less than, we can give it 20,000. Then it's going to light red fill with dark red text. Let's see. Okay. Why did it not, why was it not applied? Someone? Why was it not
the
applied?
column for products.
Sorry?
We are choosing the column for products.
Yes. So you select that particular column, come to home, conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. So less than, say, 20,000. So it's going to highlight that. And there we are. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so those that are below 20,000 or less than 20,000, they're going to be in light red shading. That is conditional formatting.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you repeat the process? I didn't say properly on the highlight. I'm not very clear. So we can take it back.
No worries. So maybe we can do that for the unit price. So what we do, we select the column that you want to apply the conditional formatting. So you selected the unit price column. You go to home. Under home, we have conditional formatting. We have a drop-down list here. The condition here is we want to highlight cells based on a certain rule. And the rule is it should be less than. Okay, so it should be less than maybe say 20,000. So I'm going to select that. We're going to get this box here. Then I'm going to write it should be less than 20,000, the threshold. You write it down there. Maybe you can have another color. Then apply. And that is there. So the ones in yellow are those that do not meet that particular, those that meet that particular condition, which is less than 20,000. I hope that is clear. That is conditional formatting. So we have an exercise here. So we've covered this and this. We've covered this too. We're supposed to do an example on XLOOKUP, and we've also done the sum ifs. Yeah. So now we're going to, before I continue, because we are now going to get into pivot tables, maybe we can have a question, one or two, in case you have a question on what we've covered. Maybe you can ask. I just need 2 questions, then we can proceed.
On what you've highlighted, is there a way we can maybe extract them and maybe put them to a separate sheet?
Yeah, so good question. So the ones that we've highlighted here, do you think there is a way we can extract them? Do you think there's a way we can extract them? So let me try something here. Yeah, someone wants to talk?
I was trying
Yes.
to highlight those ones that, as she asked, can we use the filter?
The filter, under data, we filter.
Or to get that.
So yeah, you can sort by colors. Let's see whether you can do that. Or rather filter. Yes, it is possible. So thank you for that. Ruth, have you understood how we've done that?
What I mean is that you extract them, those values that are below the threshold, then you create them in a different sheet, like a table.
So what you can do, so for example, okay, before I give Christopher a chance, so what we've done here, we've filtered, and once you filter this, then this is something that you can copy and have it. One way of extracting this is once you filter what has been colored, then you can do what? You can select it and maybe copy it to another worksheet, something like this. Something like this. You can do something like this. There's someone who is not muted. Kindly mute. Christopher, you had something that you wanted to say?
Yes, madam. Okay, I wanted a practical example. Suppose you want to prepare a schedule and you kind of like have like a quotation and you have some bidders. So you want to prepare a low value. Can you use the conditional format to come up with a low value?
Come again, maybe just to understand the details of the schedule that you want to
Okay,
generate.
suppose maybe you're having 3 bidders. One is having 1,000, another one is having 800, another one is having 500, and you want to selecting the low value using the same format in the Excel. Can you be able to come up with a conditional format whereby you select the low value out of the figures that you have?
Yeah, so you kind of
you have like 3 values, For example,
yes,
you have
I'm getting your
1,000, you
point.
have 800, and you have 500. Now you have different products. For example, a supplier has quoted a product. The same product, one has quoted 1,000, the other has quoted 800, and one has quoted 500. Now you want to select only the lowest value of the figures that you have. Yeah.
I think you can do that if I'm not wrong, because we also have an option for sorting your data. You can sort your data from the lowest to the highest, then you'll be able to tell which one was the lowest. But then maybe we can try something. I've not tried that before, but we can do it here. Come back here.
Hello. Yes, madam. Yes, Madam Wangari.
Yes.
Yes. For me, I'll just say to answer the question that my colleague has asked, we can just say, for an instance that maybe let's say we've been given such kind of data, he has said 500, 800, and let's say for instance 1,000. But you want to find the lowest value, you can just use the function like let's say equals to mean, and then you change equals to mean, and then you choose the range of the data, and then you click enter, and then it will automatically give you the minimum value. Yes.
Okay, but my question is about the coloring, because I understand that when you're using the conditional format, you can be able
Yes.
to indicate using the colors. Now, in this, for example, you have a table whereby it's having different kinds of product with the low values. Now, you want those low values to be indicated with a particular color, the same one, the same Madam said. Yeah.
That is data sorting.
Yes,
You can
yes,
just
yes.
sort your data, I think, yes.
Yeah, still, I'm thinking maybe we can have that to think about, but let me try something here. So you select that, you go to conditional formatting. I want to check whether we can have rules. So we have greater than, less than, equal to, text that contains a date occurring. Then for duplicate values, if you want to identify whether you have duplicate values. Then for top or bottom rules, so this is for data bars, directional. Let me see, new rule. So for example, so format all cells based on their values. So the format style, we have that minimum value, we have the lowest value there, while we have the maximum value. So let me see. Let's just try and see what you're going to get here. So if we selected that, so I'm thinking for your question, Christopher, maybe we can try and see whether I'm going to research on this because, and maybe the rest can help with that, whether we can have customized rules when it comes to conditional formatting. We can see whether we can work around that, because what we have at the moment, when you look at this, what I was trying to do under new rule, so you have to, for the lowest value, you have to give what is the lowest value, what is the highest value, then it's going to, you see, now it's going not to be so certain. So I'm going to check whether we can get something that can be customized. Is that okay? Please remind me tomorrow.
Madam.
Yes.
Okay, madam.
You can always use the formula method for you to determine the color of the cells that you wish to display. There is we have the last option where you can use the formula to determine which cells to format.
Okay, this one.
Yes.
So format values where this formula is true. So maybe you can have equal to minimum. I want to say. Okay.
You can just use less than or equal to, something of the sort.
Yeah, I understand that, and thank you for that. It's just that for Christopher's question, he's a bit specific on. So if I want to get the lowest, so there has to be maybe something like a condition. It should be lower than this or something. But if we want to get the lowest, even without the threshold, how do we go about that? So allow me to, in case you find something, please type in or just say as we continue. Okay. But I'm going to research on that.
Yes, Madam Wangari.
Yes, yes.
Yes, for me, I'd say for Christopher's situation, what we can do, we can go to the conditional formatting. After finding that formula that I said before, you type the minimum equals minimum, then you find the range. Yes, there's that formula. But for the formatting, you can go to the selected range of cells.
Yes.
Containing the data. Then you go to home. There is a conditional formatting at the top. at the top right. And then at that point is where you will find there's a place where when you scroll downwards, there is a place where you've been told that there is a set of new rules. Conditional formatting, there's the new rules, yes? Yes, at that point, then you choose the format values where the formula is true. Then you enter that condition. There's just condition that he said the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
You insert the new rule here, given that range of data.
So we have this here, right? So we have these
Yes.
rules here.
Yes.
So which rule should we select?
Format analyzing that contain format.
So because we have format only cells that contain format only top or bottom ranked values, only values that are above or below average, only unique or duplicate values, use a formula to determine which cell to format. So maybe
edit
this is
edit the rules description.
So if I edit the rule description, I can't on my end. So what I'm thinking is you're supposed to, there is the suggestion that one of your colleagues, I forgot his name, who had suggested that you're supposed to write down the formula here. So we're supposed to know which formula are we supposed to write here, because format values where this formula is true. So if this, whichever formula that you write here satisfies that, or rather it meets that condition, then it's going to be formatted. That is what I'm thinking. But maybe allow me to give an answer to that tomorrow, Christopher, or even as we continue. Is that okay?
It's okay, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, Priscilla,
Helen.
allow me to, yes.
Oh, okay. It's okay, but I wanted to give the formula for that.
Yes. Okay.
So if you sell, I don't know where we were. Is it in the total amount?
So we had selected quantity.
Okay, so we want the lowest quantity, or we want, okay, maybe we can use the unit price, eh?
Yeah.
So if you select there and you go to conditional formatting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not able to see the option. Or you go to top bottom rules.
Okay.
Then you go to bottom, no, more rules.
More rules.
So you'll go format values that rank in the bottom. So the drop down. The bottom one. So instead of 10, we'll just add it to 1. Then now you format, no format set, so you can format and put a color.
Something like that.
Yes,
so this value here is the list. Thank you so much, Priscilla. Christopher, have you seen that?
Okay, for my case, madam,
yes.
For my case, it's a different case. For example, can you give me a table where it has some product like the one that you're having, like a laptop or earphones?
Something like this.
Yeah. Suppose we have a laptop, yeah.
And
a quantity we have supplier number 1, and then column C we have supplier number 2, and column D we have supplier number 3. So for this case now, supplier number 1 had quoted 27,000 to provide the laptop, and a supplier number 1.
Yeah, 27,000.
27,000. Supplier number 2 had quoted 23,000.
Yeah.
And supplier number 3 had quoted, let's say 15,000. The same to item, the smartwatch and earphone. We have different product items. Let's say he had quoted 15,000 and a smartwatch, supplier number 1.
Yeah, we can give it maybe say 17,000.
Okay.
Let me just.
Any values, but that will.
Yep.
Okay, give me also under earphones.
Yeah.
Okay, on column number F, now you want the low values, whereby low value. Now this column, from these suppliers, you want to color only those that will be the low values here. For example, under laptop will be, let's say supplier number 3 will have green, and smartphones, smartwatch supplier number 1 will have green, and earphone supplier number 2 will have green. Now using the conditional format whereby only the low value will have the same color. That's what we're talking about.
Let me see the so we want to so what if we do something like this? We're actually going to use more rules. Okay. Let me see.
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah.
I don't think if in that case, I don't think we need conditional formatting.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to use the mean formula, and we'll get the minimum. Yeah, the mean formula, minimum formula, and we'll get the minimum values for each. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we need the.
All right. Thank you, Zakaya, for that. So
the issue, madam, it's not about getting the mean value. I was talking about indicating the colors whereby you highlight, because actually this is what I've been doing, and I find that I've been doing this manually. You now highlight with the highlighter the low values. But if maybe there is a formula or a format whereby you can use where the system can just highlight for you systematically without doing it manually. So I thought maybe the conditional format maybe do that.
Okay, maybe we can, I get your point, Christopher, and I think maybe I can try and search, then maybe we can look at it tomorrow if I get the results. Is that okay? So that we save on time.
Okay,
and thank you for your question as well. Thank you for that.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
For that case, I'll just ask Christopher, to repeat the question. What is he really looking for?
So this is it. So Christopher has supplier number 1, supplier number 2, supplier number 3, and we have different products here. Yeah.
Yes.
So he wants to color.
Yes.
The one that has the lowest value, or rather the lowest value for each supplier. So the question is, yes, for each supplier. For example, for supplier number 1.
For each product.
For each product.
Yeah.
For each product. So we have something like laptop, the lowest.
Lowest is 17.
Exactly.
Okay.
So how do you color that? For smartwatch, the lowest is 17 for supplier number 1. We want to give it maybe color green. Earphones, 14,000. Under supplier number 3, we want to give it a color green. How do we go about that? That is the question. Yeah. So allow me to
I have an answer.
And I think about also, how do you change the prices of each, because each product has its own price. Maybe another one has the highest price and the other one has the lowest price. So I think we should not be condition format for, I think it should be condition formatting horizontally, not vertically.
Okay.
Madam Ongari.
Yes.
Now there is an Excel formula that changes your rows into columns and columns into rows.
The one for
If you
transposing?
Yes, transposing. If you transpose the data and then use the other method that was it Priscilla that prescribed, I think you will achieve the goal.
Okay. Thank you, Zakaria, for that. So the suggestion is we transpose, then we try and do the conditional formatting. So maybe we can look at that. Allow me to look at that. I can have that as part of our assignment today, then we can look at that tomorrow. But thank you so much for your suggestions. So in the interest of time, allow me to switch to pivot tables and charts. That is our next subtopic. And what is a pivot table? I don't know if you've come across pivot tables. I'm sure. Okay, let me show you where we usually have the pivot tables. So under insert, we have pivot tables, we have recommended pivot tables, and so on and so forth. So we are looking at pivot tables. What is a pivot table? A pivot table is a tool that allows you to quickly summarize and analyze large amounts of data. Okay, so this one is used specifically for summarizing your data. So you can use it to calculate total sales, totals, counts, averages, percentages, and more, all without typing formulas. So it is commonly used when maybe you're calculating total sales by region, counting the number of customers per month, tracking performance across different categories, and comparing trends. So how do we create a pivot table? So first thing first, you highlight your data set, including the column headers, because if we are to, as we continue, I'm going to show you why this is very relevant. You have to highlight your data set, including the column headers. Number two, you go to insert. Once you've highlighted your data set, go to insert, then select pivot table. So choose whether to place it in a new or an existing worksheet, then you click OK. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Then we proceed. So let me undo this. So we have our data here. So first thing first, we select our data, we highlight our data, then we go to insert. Under insert, we have pivot table. So we want to create a pivot table from our existing data. Where do we want to have the pivot table? You can have it in a new worksheet or in the existing worksheet. But now, if you select the existing worksheet, then you have to put, you have to do what? You have to give the range. Where are we placing it? Yeah. So something like that, but maybe we can have it on a new worksheet. So, okay. So this is our pivot table. Okay, so I hope you've understood. So we've highlighted our data set. Under insert, we have insert pivot table, select that, then select okay. It's going to give you something like this. Now, under this, this is where our pivot table is going to be created, or rather this is our pivot table here. But how do we build our pivot table? We build it based on the, you see these fields that we have. So we have the different fields, and these fields represent the columns that we have. We have the order ID, full name, we have city, we have country, we have email, and so on and so forth, all the columns. Then we have filters, we have columns, we have rows, and we have values. Yeah. Now, what does that? Those are the key areas in a pivot table. So we have rows, and the rows are used to. This is where we have categories you want to analyze. So that is to mean under rows, you have to put categorical type of data. Are we together? Either region, for our case, is it a product? Is it the customer? It has to be something that is categorical. Under columns, this is where we put optional categories for comparison. It could be either a month or the product type. So optional categories, it's not compulsory, but now you start with the rows where you put the categories. Are we together? Then under values, this is where you put your numerical data. What are you looking at? Or rather, what do you want to analyze? Is it the total sales? Is it the number of units sold, and so on and so forth? Yeah, so that should be quantitative type of data. Then under filters, this is high level filters. It could be either yearly in terms of region or category. So we go back to our data and do something. So this is what we have. So we've said under filters, so you want to filter your data based on a categorical value. Okay, so first thing first, we have rows. So what do we put under rows? We have to put categorical type of data. For example, in our case here, we could have something like region. So you're going to drag it to rows. So we have the central region, coasts, Nairobi. So for our case, we have this one is not available. So that is to mean our data wasn't clean. So that is why we have the none here. Then we have Nyanza, Rift Valley, Western, and then we have blank. Okay. Then what do we want to summarize? We want to summarize the total sales. So total amount, it's going to come under values. Okay. But then we don't want the count, we want the summation. We want to get the total sales for each region. So in short, the kind of analysis that we're doing here, it's sales by region. So what we do, we have a drop down here. So we select value field settings, select that. Then it's going to give you the option of how do you want your values to be summarized? Do you want it to be a count? Do you want it to be sum, average, minimum, maximum, product, and so on and so forth? So what you do, for our case, you want the summation, we want the total sales. So you select that, okay? And then it's going to give us the total sales for each region. Is that okay? Now, if you want to go ahead and maybe add something else, add another factor. So we have sum of sales or the total sales made in different regions. Yeah. So maybe we can try and add something like a product. So what we have here, so we've added a product and it has automatically been dragged under the rows field. So what we have here, we have under central region, we have now the specific product. So the total sales for earphones were 504,500 and so forth, and so on and so forth. So for each and every region, so whatever we are doing here is the kind of analysis that we have here is the sales by region for each product. Sales by region for each product. That is the kind of analysis that you're doing here. It is as simple as that. So you can play around with the numbers here. Maybe we can have quantity. So under quantity, maybe we can have quantity come here, but then it's going to be count. So that is to mean in central province or in the central region, the number of earphones sold were 6 and the total sales amounted to 504,500. The same thing for coastal region, Nairobi region, and so on and so forth. So that is how we go about pivot tables. Now you realize for this, we do not have to key in the formula manually. It's already there. So the simplest way of doing analysis in Excel is using the pivot tables. I hope that is clear. So that was just but an example. So pivot tables automatically summarize your data using aggregation functions like sum, count, average, maximum, or minimum. So we've done something like, we've done the total sales by region. We've also counted the number of transactions per product. And for our case, it was a count of transactions per product by region. That is what we've done, yeah? So that is data summarization in pivot tables. Now, we have another feature of filtering in pivot tables. And what is filtering? So filtering, pivot tables allow fast filtering using the filters area, where we have the top level filters. You can also decide to filter based on row or column. You can also filter based on labels. For example, if you want to filter data for Nairobi only, then you can have something like that. If you want to filter based on values, you can give the condition. Okay, for example, in our case here, so show only sales made in Nairobi. So what you do, you click the drop down next to region, select Nairobi. So filtering keeps your analysis flexible without changing the original data. Maybe we can try this. We show only sales made in Nairobi. So we come here. Under regions, we have that drop down. Then we can customize. We have this. Let me see if it's going to. It should bring Nairobi. The drop down should give me a Nairobi somewhere. So click the drop down next to region, and then
I think you should be clicking the drop down. Oh, not there. There is a drop down on the region whole.
The region, oh yeah. Thank you. Sorry about that. So select Nairobi. Then okay, then it's going to give you details for Nairobi. Thank you for that. Yes, so that is how you go about filtering. Okay, I hope that is clear. Yes, Aaron?
Thank you, Agari. Quick question here.
Yes.
Say, for example, we'd like to group the sales for certain product within certain range.
Within certain range?
It's like, for example, I'd like to see earphone sales within range of 10,000 to 50,000. Then I get the count. How do I get there?
Okay, I think we had something like that still under filtering, where you can value. We have the value filters. Let's see how we go about that. So what we do, we want to filter based on, say, I don't know if this is going to allow total amount. Then this one is just going to give us, because we need to customize it. Let me see whether we can customize this. Just a minute, I see how we sort that out. Let me have that as something that we can do as we continue. Aaron, that one has been noted down. We're going to do that example as we continue. Sorry. So we have, I want to finish up on pivot charts and pivot tables because of time, but I'm going to sort that out as we continue. So we have grouping data, and under grouping data, we have pivot tables can group data to simplify analysis. And we can group it based on months, quarters, or years. So how do you go about that? So you right-click a date. If you have a date column, then you're going to group, then you choose month, quarter, or year. Then it's going to give you, that is for grouping dates. For grouping numerics, so this one is used for grouping or bucketizing your numerics. You want to group them maybe from 0 to 20,000, 20 to 40,000. And how do you go about that? You right-click a value, you select group, specify your intervals. Then you have group text. This one is for manual grouping. You can group categories manually, where you select 2 or more items, right-click, then you group. So this is where you can combine something like Mombasa and Nairobi into urban markets. So this one is for manual grouping. But for values, you can give the range that you want to group it into, okay? Now, still under pivot tables, now that is about grouping data. Under pivot tables, we still have slicers. And now slicers are interactive buttons that filter pivot tables visually. Okay, so we have talked about the different types of filters, and we've seen how you go about that. You select the drop down, then you select that particular filter. But now we also have slicers, and slicers are interactive buttons. So if you're creating a dashboard using Excel, you can use a slicer to filter your data. So how do you add a slicer? So you click inside your pivot table, then go to insert, and then select slicer. So maybe a simple one. So you click into the pivot table, go to insert, we have a slicer here. Then how do you want to filter your data? Maybe based on, maybe we can give it, based on, say, region or something of the sort. So we have this slicer here. So if I select Nairobi, so this is data for Nairobi. If I select costs, so you realize the filter here has changed, yeah? So a slicer is a visual filter, okay? So in case you're presenting your data and you want to let them know, or rather you're trying to explain to them, these are the products that were sold in maybe the central region. So you select central region and you'll be able to tell that in central region, we had 6 earphones sold and the total amount of sales were this, and that, okay? So this is a filter. A slicer is used as a filter. But now when it comes to dashboards, instead of filtering this way, the method that we used previously, you can use a slicer. You just select, then your data changes based on, it changes based on the filter that you put, which is maybe Rift Valley region. These are the, these are the sales that were made in that particular region. That is about slicer. So, so slicers allow you to control multiple pivot tables at once. In case you have a number of, pivot tables in one worksheet, then you can control that. It is also interactive, so it is used to create interactive dashboards and filter. You're able to filter with a single click. You just select and then your data is filtered. I hope that is clear. Now, we've created pivot tables and we now go to pivot charts. How do we create pivot charts, or what are pivot charts? So pivot charts, these ones visualize pivot table summaries. So they stay dynamic when you filter the pivot table and the chart updates instantly. So to insert a pivot chart, you click the inside, of course, you click the pivot table, sorry, then go to insert, then select pivot chart. When you select that, you choose the chart type. Remember, you just don't use any other chart type. You have to have some considerations. What do we want to present? What do we want to visualize? Yeah, how is it going to look like, something of the sort, or what message are we trying to, what information do we want these people to get from our data? So what we do, so we select, or rather you just click your pivot table, go to insert, we have pivot chart, you select that pivot chart, then we have the different charts. So for example, in our case here, we have different products and their total, sum of total amount or the total sales, then we have the account. So what we do, maybe we can decide to have a pie chart. And this pie chart here is going to show us the proportion of each and every product. Yeah, so we have, so you select okay. So we're going to have it here. So we can, so we have a slicer here. We have our data here. We have our chart here. So we are trying to maybe create a dashboard. So we have selected our visualization, which is a pie chart. And this pie chart is showing, the different proportions of our products, the different products. Yeah, and we have our slicer here. So if I want to visualize how the proportions of the products in the central province, so I'm going to select central province, then it's going to be updated here. So you realize now you're able to tell in central province, we have maybe color blue, which is smartwatch. We had very few sales based on the proportions. Very few sales were made in central region. So that is to mean maybe this is something that we need to do away with in our market in the central Kenya. But when it comes to Nyanza, you want to see which products performed best. Looks like most people are buying laptops. So that is to mean we can increase the supply of laptops and something like that. But the point here was, how do we create pivot charts? You just select your data, go to insert, then select the pivot chart. And which chart do you want to create? You can create a column chart for categorical data, select OK, then you'll be able to tell. Of course, sorry. So we have something like this for a column chart, okay? And that is how we go about pivot charts in Excel. I hope that is clear. So we have, that is what we were to cover under pivot tables and pivot charts. I hope that is clear. We have some questions. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
How can I add another pivot table? To maybe I have two or more. pivot table on the same sheet.
Worksheet. Okay. So what we do, we're just going to come here and maybe do something here. So we have our data here. I want to do something. Just a minute. I want to recreate this data and maybe have something new. Something like that. So what we do, we're going to, of course, select the data, then insert. We want to insert a pivot table. Maybe we can have it in this worksheet. I want to create it here.
Madam, that is the error I was getting, even me when I was doing that.
Okay. This command requires at least 2 rows of source data. You cannot use the command on a selection of 1 row. So maybe what you can do, let's try and have it on a new worksheet. Okay. So insert pivot table, new worksheets. It should, I don't know where we're getting this error from, but 16 worksheets. It's not valid. So this one is going to create it on another worksheet, which might be, it's going to give us some, we're going to have a lot of work if we were to create dashboards. So you have pivot table. Okay. I'm trying to and do something here. Just give me a second and do something here. Sales by region. Then total amount by product. Okay. So so there's something I want to check. Okay. Anyone who has an idea of how we can, I don't know where we are getting the error from, but in case you have an idea of how we can create pivot tables, and have them in the same worksheet, maybe you can share with us.
You also have a problem when you had a data from the main table, it's not updating to the pivot tables. Maybe you can try on your part if you're making.
What do you mean? Come again?
Yeah, if you add data from the main table. I mean, when you had a data from a main table, it's not updating, or any correction you have done in a main table. For example, you are let's try to remove that province of Nyan region. I mean the region. You do the data cleaning is if can make on the other side.
So I remove this one. Let me see if I remove it, what is going to happen. Yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Do we still have a region? So it takes the original data. That's what you mean. Thank you for that observation. Okay, I see. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, thank you for that observation. Do you think we have a solution to that? Like if you updated the previous data, or rather the original data, is it going to affect your pivot tables? Yeah, so that is something that we need to also look at even as we do our analysis. Thank you for that observation. Maybe this is something that we can look at even as we continue. Okay, so we have two issues there. We'll see how we sort them out maybe as we cover as we do the recap tomorrow and the questions that have been asked. And because I know most of you are in the WhatsApp group, please post your questions there. Then we're going to handle them while doing our recap tomorrow. Is that okay?
Wangari, I'm not in the WhatsApp group. I don't know.
Okay, so the admin is going to send the link, then you're going to join. Yeah, but we have a WhatsApp group. Yes. Kindly follow up with the admin. They're going to give you the link. So, so I have noted down the questions that have been asked. We have one that was asked by Christopher, another one on grouping, another one, and I know we didn't do a practical example on the lookup values. We're going to look at that as well. Then about when updating your original data. Yes.
Yes, madam. I have a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, if I click at the charts, I can't even access the charts. I don't know what's happening.
Really?
Yeah, reactions, I can't even access. I don't know even how can I even get the link for the materials. That's not, I don't know.
Okay. Maybe the admin, maybe you can follow up with Nicholas and see how you can help him.
I don't know if I got the question well. Are you saying he's not able to access the chat on this call? The chats on this call?
Yeah. I cannot even access the chats, but I can see just the numbers, but the accessing the chats, I can't even access the reactions. I can't even access.
I'm having the same challenge as well.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Could you check maybe the view you have? Maybe you've selected individual's conversational page. So maybe you get back to the general page. I don't know if that helps. But I can see I've posted the link on the group and I can see people joining. So maybe it's a challenge with some of us. Could you maybe just try again? If you still, if the problem persists, please do share.
Yeah, it's just persisting.
Yeah, but again, let me share our, for those just quickly, Wangari, let me share our WhatsApp number. You can also send a text there, 0743
okay.
279 990, 0743 279 990. So just drop a hi there, then they'll give you the link. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, yeah, again, I've noted down the questions and we'll have that covered as we do our recap tomorrow. Now,
Yes,
yes.
Yes, just to answer, I think it was, is it, okay, my colleague asked a question. I think we can have this idea of how to solve the issue. For instance, we can just create all the pivot tables on different separate worksheets.
Yes.
And then we do we call a copy and paste each pivot table on the desired worksheet, and then we can arrange them.
Okay.
Yes. So we can just create them. We can create pivot tables on each separate worksheets.
Yeah.
Then after that, we can also copy and paste to one worksheet, arranging them in a desired manner, in a manner that you want. And then also you have to ensure that the pivot table has a unique name that is not similar to the ones that
the other one.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for
That's
that.
the only approach that I know about, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Ronald.
Yes.
So the suggestion is we have the pivot tables are created in different worksheets. Then we copy and paste them in one particular worksheet. Yeah, then make sure that the pivot tables have different names or they have unique names. Yeah, thank you, Ronald, for that. Now, guys,
Hi, Wangari.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting. This is the issue that we are discussing about creating pivot tables in one sheet.
Yeah.
Is actually possible. So what you need to do, like the data that we were talking about, the clean data, after like selecting that data, the all of the data, you just go to the insert tab.
Okay.
Then on the pivot table,
yeah,
of course you're going to choose from the table or range. And then let's say our pivot tables were created in sheet number 3, for example. So you're going to select existing worksheet.
Yeah.
But then on the existing worksheet, choose the location. It is sheet number 3. You'll see it's that sheet is referenced there. And then select, maybe you want the pivot table to be duplicated on, let's say, cell H20. You select that, then you click OK. That pivot table will be created there on that cell. It is on the same sheet that we are talking about. You just need to indicate the location where you want this pivot table to be created, even if it's the same sheet, provided it does not overlap the already present pivot tables. So it can.
Okay, thank you for that. Actually, yeah, I don't know why it was previously not working, because I had tried, it was giving me an error. But thank you for that, Raphael. So what you do, I think it's Ruth who had asked this question. So you select your data, go to insert, and a pivot table. You select existing worksheet. Now what you do, you just come here in the this is the existing worksheet. Maybe you can just select that cell, then click OK. Then our pivot table is going to be created there. Yes, and we have something like that. So that is to mean, in case you want to do what? To add some more pivot tables. So you do the same thing. You select your data, insert, pivot table. Now you just need to know where do I, if it's an existing worksheet, where do I place it? Maybe you can place it somewhere there. Okay, then you're going to have our other pivot table. Is that okay, Ruth? Maybe you can try that on your end. Then, of course, it's recommended that you do what you... Now, this is where you come in and do your analysis from. Yeah? Ruth, are we okay? Are we good?
Yeah, it's okay. It's only the point of maybe updating now.
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
any change you make it on the main table, is it affecting the pivot tables now?
Thank you for that observation. I don't know if there's anyone who has encountered that, or you have an idea of how you go about that. In case you have, kindly share with us. Yeah, but thank you for that observation.
Mongari, I don't know if we were supposed to take a quick break or we just do it all together.
Actually, I mean, our time is almost up because it's 7:49. So I was thinking maybe I could introduce this Python, just an introduction for the remaining minutes. Then tomorrow we are just going to do an overview, a quick overview of Python and SQL, what we were supposed to cover today. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Will you find time to do Power BI?
Yeah, I think I'll see how I can squeeze in the Python and SQL to take I try and see whether I can just use maybe 30 minutes just to go through it. Then we go to Power BI.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay. Again, thank you so much, guys, for your participation, and thank you for the questions. Today's session has been more engaging, and I'm hoping that you guys are learning. We have things that we need to cover. I mean, we have things that we need to research on, then we're going to get back. Now, so we've come from Excel, which is used for basic analysis or the simple analysis. But now we have Python and SQL, which is usually used for analysis. But the kind of analysis that is done using Python is a little bit more advanced. Okay, so Python, I know you've heard a lot of Python, or rather you've heard a lot about Python. This one is a programming language. Most people thought that Python was only being used for, the people who are doing computer science and something of the sort. But Python can also be used for, analysis. And this is where data science comes in, yeah? Python is one of the most widely used programming languages in the data analytics world. And the reason as to why it's preferred being a programming language, it is powerful. That is the first thing. Number two, it is easy to learn, and it is supported by a large ecosystem of libraries that simplify data cleaning, data analysis, visualization, and automation. So if you can remember, when we were talking about the process of the data analysis process, we talked about data cleaning. We have the data analysis bit. We have visualization. Then we had something to do with insights and recommendations. But you realize for Python, we've added another aspect, which is automation. Okay, so for Python, you just don't end it at insights. we go ahead and use those insights and maybe now create systems or create models that can be automated. So why is Python used for analytics? One, it allows you to load and explore large data sets. I want you to realize the difference between Excel and Python. In Excel, our data was maybe CSV or Excel sheets, the spreadsheets, yeah? But for Python, because we do not have a data set by the name Python data, what we do, we load in the data. We load in the data into your Python working environment. I hope that is clear. So we load in, Python allows you to load and explore large data sets. Then after that, once you load in your data, you're able to clean and transform data quickly. There is a way you're able to clean and transform the data. We have functions that are used when it comes to cleaning data in Python, yeah? And of course, we are cleaning the same things that you are cleaning in, when you are dealing with Excel, the missing values, you want to clean them, you want to do away with them, the duplicates, you also want to check whether you have inconsistencies in your data and so on and so forth. So we have those features, and those features are usually found in the libraries that are used in Python. Then you can be able to combine multiple data sets. You can create charts and visualizations. You can build automated workflows. And after that, you can apply machine learning models. That is why we use Python for data analytics. Again, Python is used for advanced type of analysis. I hope that is clear. Now, so Python gives analysts the speed and flexibility that Excel sometimes cannot. Yeah. So Python usually gives us the speed. There is that speed because the script is already there. You just need to code and then get your analysis done. Unlike Excel, where maybe you have to create those pivot charts, you have to do a lot of things, or if you're not using the pivot charts, you have to write down the formula, which is quite a lot. If you mess up, then we have to go back to square one. But for Python, as long as you have the code and then you know the library that you're supposed to use, then you're good to go. Okay. Now, where do we write our Python codes? So to write and run Python codes, analysts use IDEs. This is integrated development environment or code editors. That is where you write down your code. So an IDE usually provides tools such as text editor, terminal, debugger, and package manager all in one place. That is to mean with an IDE, you're able to write down your code. After writing down your code, you'll be able to debug that code. We have those tools for debugging or editing your code, or maybe editing your code or correcting your code. And you're able to manage, we have the package manager, like you're able to manage your codes within an IDE. So you don't need to go to, or rather you don't need to look for another tool for that. An IDE provides the entire package, okay? So the most commonly used IDEs for Python in analytics, we have Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook, maybe I can show you Jupyter Notebook. This one is a browser-based environment for writing Python in small testable blocks called cells. Why is it preferred? It is perfect for step-by-step data analysis. It shows tables and charts inline. It is great for experimenting and learning, and it is commonly used in training, research, and data exploration. So that one is Jupyter Notebook. And Jupyter Notebook is usually hosted by Anaconda. So I have my Anaconda navigator here. So this one is a tool. This is a graphical user interface that usually provides a platform where you can use different IDEs for different tasks, okay? It could be Python, it could also be R, yeah? So we have different IDEs here. So for our case here, our focus is on Jupyter Notebook. This one is web-based. It's an interactive computing notebook environment where you're able to edit and run human readable documents while describing the data analysis. So you have to have an Anaconda navigator for you to be able to launch the Jupyter Notebook. So you just launch it. Remember, it is web-based, so it's going to be launched on the browser that you're using. Okay, so you launch it, then it's going to redirect you to the browser that you're using. So what are you supposed to do? You select a new Python, it's a new Python notebook, and this is how it looks. So it has cells where you write down your codes. And in case you want to add another cell, you can do that. You can do that. Once you write down your code, you can be able to run that particular code. And when you run it, the result will come under that particular cell. Are we together? So you write your code here, then the result is going to come under that particular cell. That is Jupyter Notebook. This one is, this one helps. Maybe let me see whether I can show you an example just to have an idea of what we are talking about. Let me see. Okay, just a second. Can have something like this. So we have this code here. So for example, we have some codes here. These are for importing the libraries. Now I want you to see something like this. So if you want to display maybe data, so you run the code, this is the code, you run it, and then the result is going to come right under that particular cell. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, so that is how Jupyter Notebook works. And it is the most recommended IDE for data science projects. Why? Because you're able to follow step by step. Yeah, so we have loaded in our data. We want to explore our data. After exploring our data, we want to proceed and go down to maybe something like cleaning our data. After cleaning our data, like you're able to show step-by-step procedure of the kind of project that you're doing. That is Jupyter Notebook. Then we have Google Colab. Google Colab is a free cloud-based version of Jupyter Notebook provided by Google. So this one is a version of Jupyter Notebook, but now it's a free version, yeah? And why is it popular? There is no installation required. In fact, this is what we're going to use. It runs on the cloud, even on phones or tablets. So it is easy file sharing with teams and students, and free GPU for machine learning work. So this one is used for training sessions, student projects, quick demos, and so on and so forth. Maybe I can do that. I can show you a Google Colab. So what do you need to do? You just need to come to your browser, Google Colab, select that. Select that, then you're going to get to this point. Now open, so if you want if you had something that you were previously working on, you can maybe select Open Collab, then it's going to show you whatever you are working on. But if you want to launch a new notebook, you want to start afresh, you select a new notebook. So, let's see. So it should be something like this. You realize it's something similar to Jupyter Notebook, just that this one is now provided by Google, and it is a free, or it's an open platform. Yeah. So this is where you write down your codes. You write down your codes and run them, and of course the result is going to come right under your code. So in case you want to load your data, we have this option here where you're supposed to load in your data. This one is a little bit different from Jupyter Notebook, but you're going to see how we go about it. But we shall be using this one, the Google Colab. It's the simplest. Then we have VS Code. VS Code, this one is used for advanced Python programming. It is very fast, extensions for Python, Jupyter Notebook, and Git. And it's good for both scripting and automation, and can run Jupyter Notebooks inside VS Code. Then we have PyCharm. This one is a full-featured professional IDE designed specifically for Python. Why is it used? It is excellent in debugging. It has excellent debugging tools. It is a strong support for large projects. It has smart code completion and integrated version control. Then we also have Spider. So Spider, this one is a scientific programming IDE similar to RStudio. RStudio is used for R programming, and it is used in case you have variable explorers like SPSS or Stata. It is good for statistical analysis, and it is recommended for beginners who like graphical user interface feel. So this one is used in data analysis, research, academic work, or numerical computing. So those are the IDEs that are usually used. So which IDE should beginners choose? Please go for Google Colab or even Jupyter Notebook. They are the simplest. Yeah, they're the simplest. So I think in the interest of time, we're going to stop there. We were supposed to cover this today. We were supposed to cover Python, of the overview of Python and overview of SQL for analytics. So we're going to try and see how we cover that tomorrow, maybe the first 30 minutes. So we're going to rush through so that we now get into Power BI, which was our main focus. So we were supposed to focus on Excel and Power BI, and now go through, or rather brush through, Python and SQL. So allow me to stop here. In case you have a question, again, feel free to reach out via WhatsApp. Yes, and the questions that have been asked on Excel, maybe we can see how we tackle them tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be, it's going to be a little bit intense, yeah? So I think, allow me to end the class there. So we meet tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you, and thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot, Wangari. Can we please appreciate Wangari for the time and everything? Thank you. Right, thanks a lot. We thank you guys also for staying through till now. I believe you are part of the community, so you'll get everything in terms of material and everything else. Ensure you're not left behind. We've also dropped our official page account on the chat. You can be able to click and join. Then also for our full program, because we also have a full program 6 months. If you want to join it, We have also dropped the link on the chat just now. This is a full program having even internship and so on. 6-month program. So if you are interested, down that is being shared on the screen. If you're interested in this full program, you can see the content of it. You can be able to enroll. We've shared the link to the same on the chat. And in case you have any question, feel free to reach us out via our community or via our platforms. Otherwise, thanks, Wangari Mushai again. Thanks as well, all of us, for staying through, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you have questions, just like Wangari said, feel free to type in on the community so that we have them all answered tomorrow. Use the community at least to engage and to ask your questions. We will answer them tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good night. We will leave the session open for the next 2 minutes. If you have a question, we'll allow. And then after 2 minutes, we will close. Thank you. Good
Where
night.
is the community? Is the link to the community, kindly?
Okay, we can reshare. We had shared it on the group, but we can still drop it. You can either join whichever one you're comfortable with. You can join the WhatsApp community, or you can join the LinkedIn side, whichever you feel is more okay with you. I've shared the WhatsApp again, and I've also shared the LinkedIn account. So either of them will be able to give you information.
Asante.
Okay.
Karibu.
Okay. Guide, I would like to inquire about the next month full community, the full program for this course. So I was asking, is it possible to sit for the exams and earn a certificate without having undergone the due process of the whole learning process of the 6 months?
Yeah, there's that possibility. Of course, that means you first of all have to be evaluated. There's a system that will be used to evaluate and ensure that you are in the right state to be able to sit the exam first, and then, of course, there will come a bit of projects. There are projects that you'll have to take, and then, of course, the final exam and the capstone project, and a few other things.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Any other question? The mic is open.
Yes, admin.
Hello.
Is the certificate under DataBreed or ICTA?
The certificate for this particular program?
Yeah, for both.
Yeah, they are under both. No, for the main program, yeah, it is under DataBreed and ATC. Then for this particular program, this 3 days program is under DataBreed and ICTA. I hope that's clear.
Okay, please share the link for the materials. That's the notes.
Yeah, the materials will be shared via the community. We're not, because this will die down after the meeting is ended. So you can join the community, or you follow the LinkedIn account so that you have updates. Huh? We've dropped the links over the chat, so kindly just get to the chat and click the links. Any other question?
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Good. I wanted to inquire, like, for this program you've shared here, is it possible to be enrolled by maybe somebody who finished Form 4 last year and he has not gone to any college and then he comes to do this course?
Yeah, exactly. This is this program is beginner and intermediate level developed. So it allows for somebody who has at least minimum Form 4. And then, of course, for people who are even within the field and want to upskill, whether you're in other departments or whether you're in tech or you're in data and so on, you're able to enroll for it. So yes, a Form 4 leaver is actually a very good profile for this program.
Is it also another question? Is it you can come physical or you can do it online?
Yes, you can come physical or you can do it online.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have the link to register. We've just shared it on the chat. If you wish,
Yeah, I've seen the link here.
All right, all right.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other question? All right, just to ensure you have the pages followed. We've shared them a number of times on the chat so that you stay updated, that such programs do not pass you at any time. Yes. Wangari, there's another program after that. Just scroll down before we wind up the call.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this is for those who want to do artificial intelligence. I know it's we have a bit of artificial intelligence covered in the data analytics course that we just shared before. But then this is another comprehensive AI program that if you want to advance in artificial intelligence, you can actually enroll for it. Yes, so, and also for many of our programs, we have payment plans. So you just pay a certain amount and then you have yourself enrolled. The rest you pay on installments. So normally 35% to start and then the rest you pay in 2 installments. Yeah, if not, all right.
Okay. Maybe I wanted to confirm about the mastering AI. Yeah? What if you enroll, you pay, then during exam time, maybe you don't get time to do the exams. Can the exams be done in the next maybe available time?
Well, that will be under special request. We don't encourage, but yes, of course, people are busy with work, with studies and everything else. So with a request and proper communication from you, we can be able to allow you. Because we normally have intake, so you can always, if you are not able to sit this exam, you can sit the exam with the next intake.
All right.
Or you can just sit your exam in your own time because some of these processes are sort of self-paced. So you can be able to, apart from the live classes, they're self-paced bits of them that you can be able to help yourself with.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Excuse me. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How are the payments done? I would love to know. I'm from Zambia, and I believe most of the people that are here are from Kenya. So I'd love to know how the payments are done. Is it via Visa? Is it, yeah, so I'd just love to know. Thank you.
Yeah, we have various forms of making payments, and thanks a lot for joining all the way from Zambia. You can pay in dollars because we have the dollar account, so or you can also pay in Kenyan shillings. So we can share with you the details. Just to ensure, I don't know if you have our contact, you can be able to give you further guidance. But yes, you can pay from whichever part of the country using the Visa and other forms of payment, including PayPal and so on.
Okay. Can you help me with your contact so that I can get favor information?
All right, my contact is +254 792 596600.
Thank you. And thank you.
You're welcome. So anybody else who needs the contact, that is mine. You can reach me on that. +254 792 596600. Then our company's number is +254 743 279 990. +254 743 279 990. That's the official number. Then the other one is my number. So whichever you feel you want to reach out to me, you're free. Any other question? Oh, and please also ensure you always sign the attendance forms because that is what will help us to provide the certification. Please do ensure you have it filled.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, on filling the certificate, the contact information.
Yes.
Yes, there is a question that I don't know what are you really even asking for. There is a column that asks for, there's a row for organization.
That is which form? The attendance form or the course registration form?
That's the course registration form.
Okay, what was asked? Come again?
Yeah, there's a row that asks for organization.
Yeah, that is for somebody who may want to get internship with us or a job with us. You're free. I think it's optional, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you can drop your documents there, or rather you can mention your organization if you wish. If you're working for a certain organization or you're studying somewhere, you are free to share with us. But I don't think it's mandatory, the organization. Probably it's not mandatory. Right?
Okay, thank you. And you talked of another. Is there any other need that we are filling another form? Because for on my side, I just saw one form.
Yeah.
The registration form.
Yeah, the form is one. The one which was used yesterday is the similar one to today, if I'm not wrong. Derek and John, you can correct me, but it's the same form because it will that form will record the data.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Me here, Christina.
Yes,
Yesterday I lost power and I lost internet. So I was
right.
some few minutes to conclusion. So I didn't saw that form.
Okay, sorry about that. The form, if at all you've been able to join any of the communities, you'll get a form. And also on the
I've
chats
joined the
here.
community today. Unless maybe you send it. I joined the community today.
Yes, we'll request the admin to reshare it now, soon after the class.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Brian here.
Yes, Brian, how are you?
I'm good. My question is, must we keep filling the form every day or filling it just once is fine?
You must fill it every day because you have to attend every day to be certified.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, somebody asked if it is the same form. Yes, it is the same form because that form will register your date and time of registration. So you filled it yesterday, you will also fill it today and finally tomorrow.
Okay, I have a question. Yes, I'm Ronald.
Yes, Ronald.
Yes, on that part of filling the assessment form, I have a question that, for instance, let's say for my colleague who had no Wi-Fi or there's some power shortage. So does it mean that he or she won't get a certificate since he or she did not sign the attendance or the registration form?
Yeah, if you don't fill the registration form, there's definitely no way we can get your details to send you certificate or even the other material.
He did not sign it yesterday. You said it signed yesterday, today, tomorrow. So, for instance, he did not sign yesterday due to some problems, okay? So, does it mean that he won't be satisfied? He won't be certificated with the form, certificate form?
Or is that your friend
Maybe
or is that you?
Before you respond,
okay.
Yes.
It's similar to what I've just asked. Yesterday I was there from 5:30 actually. I joined before you moved us to Zoom. We were in Google Meet. So some minutes to 8, I lost power. So I was there fully, but I didn't sign. What happened to somebody like me?
Yeah, that's the question I'm asking.
Because we moved us to Zoom and we carried out the 1 hour and 30 minutes, then boom, power, I lost power. And at the same time, I lost net. So
I
what
think you'll just
happens
fill
to
it. I think you'll just fill
today?
it today. Let me see if it has a bit of where you can add a comment. Phone number, post. Yeah, there's the last question there, training feedback. You can always share your feedback and also maybe share a comment if you didn't fill it the previous day. You can also mention there. I believe those who will be looking at the forms will be able to understand.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Please send the link for community.
All right.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
Good, yeah. Somebody is just asking me here.
Yes.
Do you guys have just a tailor-made program for only advanced Excel and maybe Power BI?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we have. They're called combo packages. If somebody just wants to learn, for instance, Excel alone, you can enroll for advanced Excel alone. If you want to do Python or Power BI or SQL, you can do the same.
Okay, so you can do advanced Excel and Power BI.
Yes, you can choose whichever bit. You can take the whole program or you can just choose and say, I want to advance in only this bit.
So where can I get this information? Is this information found in your social media platforms or something, or where?
It's found on our website. Our website is databreedafrica.com.
Okay.
Databreedafrica.com. DATABREED Africa.com.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can also just send us a message on our email is info@databreedafrica, but the easier way, just send us a text on WhatsApp 0743.
Oh, good.
I'll type it in again 0743 279 990.
Good.
Let's say plus 254 for those who are not in the country. So plus 254 743 279 990.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Any other questions before we close the meeting?
Yes, hello.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm Abdel Nasir. I have applied
Yes.
for this training, but unfortunately I was not active because I was somehow busy. So I have one concern. The first thing I have applied for the link, but I didn't get invitation. So I don't know what happened, but I got the link from someone who I've shared the link with, the Zoom. So I needed whether you can clarify. Maybe next time you can give me the invitation. The other one is I have data that is from an institution that where I work, ready data. So maybe can you provide one-on-one session where you can maybe guide someone on how he can provide or she can have report, just analyze his own organization data, because that is the real data. Maybe I'm working on it to prepare financial reports. So if you can reach out someone like me who have ready available data that maybe I was unable to do in-depth analysis. So if you just can help me and reach maybe one-on-one session, do you provide that, please? Thank you.
Yeah, we are able to do that. You can reach out to us on the contact we've shared. Reach out to us on the phone number 0743 279 990 or reach me out directly on 0792 596600. We will be able to assist you with that. I believe that will be a customized kind of approach just for you. So yes, we can assist you with that definitely. The other question was what in terms of attendance? Could you come up again on it? I didn't get you quite well.
So I applied for, when I applied for, it was shared in the group. I applied, but anybody here, I think they have gotten an invitation email telling them to join the link. So for me, it was different. I didn't get that invitation.
Oh,
So
sorry about that. I think okay. I don't know if Zakaria is around or John. Maybe you can clarify on that. But if at all you had registered initially, I believe you should be able to get the
Yeah,
links.
even day one when you started the training, when my colleague shared with me the link and I tried to register again, I was told your account is already, you have already registered with this, and at the same time I'm not getting invitation. So was it? I don't know. I was sorted out, or there's some criteria you are selecting.
All right, sorry. Maybe it was also shared, but let me just stop recording so that it's not a lot.